Emma?
I am. Okay.
It is now. Great. Okay. As I was saying, Work Avenue offers careers and business advice to people for free. And also we have a very, very busy and active jobs board and a placements team whose job it is to manage those applications and fill those roles. But what's Wage and where does it fit into the Work Avenue family? Wage, which stands for Work Avenue Generating Employment, works very closely with all the previously mentioned departments, and it provides you with the opportunity to join what I think is a rather unique social enterprise. And that is why we're here, and that's why you're here this evening, to hear about it. So what is Wage? Wage launched its first set of heavily subsidized training courses last spring. And since the summer, we've been active as a social enterprise, finding live project briefs from small businesses and matching a recently trained Wage member to that project, which resulted in paid freelance work for them to complete. And in addition, we attached mentors to those projects to oversee it and oversee the Wage member and check that it's all being done correctly. So the quality assurance was there for the businesses too. And the aim for tonight is to launch our next group of training courses and to introduce you to the trainers who are going to be training 5 separate courses, typically starting around mid-January, and they'll be running either once or twice per week until completion. Now, these training courses are heavily subsidized. All the information in terms of dates and costs can actually be seen on our website. And I'm going to ask a Work Avenue member if they wouldn't mind making a note in the chat reasonably regularly of that page on our website where you can actually see the courses, the details about it, and how to apply. In effect, if you hear from a trainer of a course you're interested in, go to the website and apply to do that course. Without going into too much detail, these courses, as I said, are heavily subsidized. They're being offered at a fraction of the price that they would be if you tried to access such bespoke training, I think keyword there, bespoke training, from the open market. But Wage is not just about providing you with the training, the subsidized training, it's about utilizing your new skills with real paid projects, which we hope will complement rather than conflict with your job search. There are many, many Wage members looking for full-time work, looking for part-time work, while still completing Wage projects. So it goes alongside your job search, and you will be offered projects that Wage gets, or I get, from small businesses who have a need for these key services, but either can't afford or they don't want or need full-time staff. A little bit of stats. Since July, Wage has received 73 project briefs, and we filled 42 of those. About 10 are still ongoing, and that means that there were about 20 which didn't get filled by a Wage member. So it's not a perfect science. Some cases, it was actually because the brief required a more experienced person than we could offer. Occasionally, they filled it with somebody else outside of Wage, so they weren't only using us to fill their role. Or quite often, they might have just changed their minds and decided to do the work themselves. But actually, out of those 43 placements, our Wage members, and I'm very proud of this, we've built websites, we've designed new logos and brands, we've created PowerPoint training presentations, we've run social media campaigns, managed web content, written articles, acted as virtual PAs, and even sold lots of advertising space on shopping bags. In a few cases, Wage members actually teamed up together. So someone from one course, for example, the web design course, might have teamed up with someone from a digital marketing course to work on a website, not just the design of it, but the content of it and how it linked in with LinkedIn or social media. So the courses that we're about to discuss, they're not the only ones that Wage can offer, but they are the ones that are confirmed for that first quarter of next year. I have in mind already an advanced digital marketing course, which will be a supplement to the course the social media course you're going to hear about from Joanna later. That's likely to be offered in March time, March or April. And there are other courses being considered, but the 5 you're going to hear about tonight most closely reflect the skills required to complete the briefs that I've been working hard to obtain from businesses. So they are the most relevant courses in order for you to get work afterwards. They're the most in demand. And we're also adding something this time for wage members, and that is a free one-day course, which I'm going to run, entitled Working with Wage. And that course is going to look at teaching softer skills like customer service, account management, working as a freelancer through Wage and for me. And it's very much going to focus on real life examples of how best to manage your wage business project. And again, if you were to look at what it would cost for a day's course such as that, it would be reasonably expensive. But this course is for free, that particular course, and I'm making it compulsory because I want to make sure that every wage member across the board, there's a consistency of professionalism and commitment. So it's not just about you choosing a training course and paying for it. It's also about me accepting you onto the course because you're doing it for the right reasons and you're going to join the Wage Club. And we very much feel it is like that. We want to communicate with each other a lot. We want to help each other out quite a lot. I've probably spoken plenty long enough now, looking at the time. So I'm going to pass you over one by one, actually, to our speakers who are the different trainers. The format is that they're going to speak with you on mute. So we're not taking questions initially. They're going to speak for a few minutes each and tell you about what they're going to be training, their specialty, their course, the course discipline. And then after everyone's spoken, so that'll be probably just after 7 o'clock, we're going to create some breakout rooms, named breakout rooms. So you will be able to go straight into those breakout rooms. If you're interested in the sales one, you go into the sales breakout room and you'll be able to speak to the trainers directly, unmute yourself and ask questions. So that'll be about 15 to 20 minutes. You'll be able to come back into the main room where I'll stay and either ask me some questions or ask me to move you to a different room, or you can do that yourself. So you don't need to only go and talk to one trainer, you can talk to more trainers. So again, a reminder that we'll keep looking at the chat, and of course you can ask questions in the chat, but also we will remind you of our website and the places where through our through the wage pages on the website, you can actually apply. When you do apply, you'll get an email back once you've done that, and you'll set up a meeting with me, which will be to assess your suitability to become a wage member. That could be Zoom or face-to-face, but I guess that's reminded me to mention that, I mean, I don't know, I haven't checked, but the Prime Minister may well be speaking right now. We just don't know what it's going to be like with COVID regulations. It's very, very hard for us to say with any certainty whether we can offer classroom training. So I think at the moment we need to assume that it will be online and Zoom training. And also, of course, we definitely are not going to disadvantage anyone that logistically couldn't make it to classroom training. So it's a little bit of watch this space, because certain courses might lend themselves better to classroom training if feasible than others. But unless told differently, I think you can assume that for the moment it will be a Zoom-based training course. Okay. In choosing what you'd like, obviously you're going to listen to the trainers and hopefully they're going to inspire you to do their topic, but at the same time a little bit of common sense. Common sense would dictate that if you select sales, for example, that you're pretty comfortable dealing with people. If you choose graphic design, you're a creative person, and so on. So I hope that's all clear. You'll hear a bit from me later on. Let's actually move on now, and I will be quiet and pass over to our first trainer to speak, and that is Nick Barr from Blend Training, and he's going to be training our admin and IT course. So Nick, feel free to unmute yourself, and I'll pass over to you.
Great, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Barr, and I have been training people on IT systems for about 10 years now. And yeah, I'm going to be training the admin IT skills course. And yeah, just a little bit about me. I love training people. I love taking people from little or no knowledge about something to being able to confidently use it. It's always great when you get to have someone surprise themselves, especially people who think they're not very good at tech, and then suddenly they get it. And so that's really why I enjoy what I do. The admin IT skills course will prepare you to be able to complete office admin tasks like those that come into the wage inbox, like Jeremy was talking about. And, you'll be confident with using things like Windows. If you are a beginner, we can start with Windows, Microsoft 365 apps such as Word, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, all to quite a basic level as required for entry-level office work. Don't be concerned if you're thinking, well, I've got very little experience with computers, because, this course is suitable for beginners. And I've worked with people from all spectrums of IT experience, and wherever you are, the course, we'll make sure that you're getting the course. I'll make sure you're getting the course all the way along and that everything is working for you. There'll be loads of time to practice everything that you're learning in the course. We'll also give you a little bit of practice work to take away with you. So don't worry, not much really, but just enough to really help you cement what you've learned in the course between sessions. I always like to remind everyone that training is the place to make mistakes and get things wrong, because that's what training's for. You do it in training, so you don't need to do it so much in real life, which is also why I make sure to put a few completely planned mistakes into every course that I lead, just to make sure that you guys feel really comfortable about your mistakes. So if I am training you and I do make a mistake, just know, completely scripted, obviously. A little bit more about the course. We'll also touch briefly on Google apps, G Suite apps such as Google Docs and Drive, which are often being used in offices these days. And really, I could go into talking about the content, but really, you will be prepared for any sorts of admin, basic IT skills that you need for doing admin office work. And that's what it'll be about. We'll also hopefully enjoy ourselves in the course. That is also the plan. I like to, it's one of my things when I'm training IT systems. I know IT systems can be quite confronting for some people, but I do my best to make it enjoyable and fun as well. So yes, you can expect that too. Terrible jokes as well. I'm a father of two, so dad jokes will be abound. So you can expect those. And yeah, really interactive course. You'll be doing lots of practice, as I said. And yeah, and there'll be plenty of time for questions and everything you need. Don't really know what else to say, really. I think that just about covers it. Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy.
That's great. Thank you very much, Nick. I should add, by the way, if people have been on our jobs board or are looking at our jobs board, I would suggest that there are more administrative roles on there than anything else. And there's a lack of people with decent skills in that to fill it. So certainly, if you're wondering, well, how will skilling up help me? Well, I think there's, apart from getting wage projects, there's a lot of full-time work available out there as well. So I'm sure very useful. Thank you so much, Nick. I should say, when we get to the breakout room, that Nick's colleague, Aria Hackenbroch, will be taking that session in the breakout room. As Nick mentioned, he has young children and has somewhere he needs to be with them pretty soon. So thanks very much for that, Nick.
Thank you.
Right, now we're going to move to graphic design. Deborah Gruenberger is the trainer. Are you there, Deborah? Please unmute yourself, and I'll pass over to you.
Great, thanks. Can you hear me? All good? Great. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. Yeah, my name is Deborah Gruenberger, and I'll be running the graphic design program on this course for the second time. It's very, very exciting. I've been a graphic designer as well as a creative trainer for over 20 years, and I've worked in several countries, and I have clients ranging from large, glamorous corporations to small charities and small startups. So I've seen it all. And you might be wondering why graphic design. I mean, some of you might be here already knowing that that's what you want to study, and others might be wondering. So let me tell you a little bit about how graphic design has been developing. It used to maybe be a little bit of a niche profession, but today, in today's competitive market, every company, no matter how tiny they are or how big they are, needs good branding and promotional material to stand out and to communicate their message. So having these creative skills is now more important than ever. It could be that we're preparing you for an actual role as a graphic designer, but you might actually take this course to have an extra set of skills to bring to the table in another profession, in another job application, because having graphic design skills is an amazing asset to pretty much any job that you take on in the future. So let me tell you a little bit about the course. It's very intense. I think Jeremy mentioned that already. We're putting an incredible amount of stuff into a very short space of time. And I'm not saying that to scare you, I'm saying that to inspire you. It's pretty cool what you can learn in 2 months. So firstly, I will teach you all the core skills you need to get work as a graphic designer. You'll learn the 3 most essential software programs that are used in the industry. There's Adobe InDesign, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe Illustrator. And then we'll move on to learning important design skills, typography, layout, techniques, working with color, working with images. And once you understand those basic design pillars, that's when we then move into more specific knowledge. So we will talk about the difference between designing for print or designing for digital purposes, for the web. We will cover creating graphics for websites, email newsletters, social media banners. We will also focus on PowerPoint. I've added a new module from this time because that's quite an important skill to have. So creating beautiful PowerPoint presentations. And then we'll move on to also print material, logos, brochures, flyers, business cards, etc., etc. And the last phase of the course is going to focus on giving you some business knowledge. Now, Jeremy's has this very focused one-day course. Mine is going to be talking more about the business of being a graphic designer. So quite a few of you might go on to become freelancers, self-employed. So we need to discuss practical skills like talking to clients, quoting for jobs, dealing with clients, and working with other people in the industry. So working with marketing people, printers, web designers, videographers, content writers, and all that, and how to collaborate on bigger projects. So that's the course. Now, what do you need to bring to the table? So it's a common misconception that you have to be amazing at drawing or painting or something like that. That's not at all the case. You do need to have a creative mind. I mean, I'd hope that if you come on this course, you're somebody who's interested in looking at things and looking at design in all forms, and interested, a creative thinker who likes the idea of being in this industry. But the most important thing that I really look for as well is that you're going to be dedicated and driven. As I mentioned before, it's a very intense course. We're putting pretty much a 2-year design degree into 2 months. And so the more you put in, the more you'll take out. We have our sessions and there'll be homework, but it won't be crazy amounts of homework. It's more up to you if you want to put in extra time to study more outside and do extra bits and pieces. And I'm always going to be excited to look at extra work you've done and help you and mentor you through that. So that's really dedication and taking your time to really dive into the details of things. That's really the most important thing you need to bring to this course. As Jeremy mentioned, it's kind of a wage club. Now that we're done with round 1, we've done the first cohort, I can tell you I'm still in touch with quite a few of the students from the first round. Wage mentors them through their first few real life projects, and I'm in touch with quite a few just via email and text messages aside from that. So it doesn't just stop after the course. That's what's so beautiful about this social enterprise that Wage has created. So after the course, you will continue, if you want, to have some mentoring and guidance if you continue taking on projects through the Wage system, basically. Yeah, that's that's it from me. Oh, my teaching style is pretty fun, I hope, and hands-on and practical. And I'm going to bring in real life clients as well. I've done it first round and I'm going to try to do it again, finding people who need a logo design or need an advert design, so that you already on the course get the experience of working with clients, and of course with me holding your hand through it. And it's very interactive, and you can ask as many questions as you want, and collaborate with other students on the course and all that. And yeah, I look forward to meeting those of you who have questions in the breakout room later. And in the meantime, that's it for me. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Deborah. I'm sure you get plenty of people to talk to you later on. Looking at the time, let's crack on. Next, we have Joanna Sadie. Joanna is our sales trainer. Can I pass over to you, Jo?
Thanks very much, Jeremy. Very nice to meet everybody. So as Jeremy said, my name is Jo Sadie. I actually head up the business team at Work Avenue. But before that, and I have done, so I help businesses start up, grow, develop, if that's the way that you're looking to earn a living at Work Avenue. But my other hat, and one that I've had for, it's going to age me now, probably well over 20 years, is that I run a business called Leapfrog, which is a sales training, sales consultancy business. And I train people to improve their sales skills. I was a salesperson when I first started, and I sell my own business. So you really are going to get somebody who has a lot of experience in this area. So why sales, and why is it so important? Sales happens everywhere. Whatever business you're working in, you need to try and convert incoming inquiries, incoming phone calls. If you're networking, you have to convert them into business. Without sales or without new prospective clients, then you don't have a business. So if you were to learn how to become an experienced salesperson, you would have skills for life. Obviously, there's also the money perspective. You can earn anywhere between 25, I'd say on average, an average salesperson probably earns around 30 to 33,000 pounds, and it can go anywhere up to about 60,000 pounds. And there's probably over 2 million salespeople working in the UK. There is always jobs in sales, and all businesses need people who have sales experience. So it really is a crucial skill to learn. The course is a 6-day course. There are going to be, we're starting January the 13th, and we are going to expect that at the end of this training course, you will have a good understanding of how to be a experienced business to business salesperson. So you will understand the structure and technique on how to sell for another business to another business. So it's not focusing on kind of car showroom sales, for example, necessarily. It's much more going to be you're working for a business and you're selling to other businesses. So what will we cover, breaking that down a little bit? You'll understand how to learn how important it is to understand the needs of a customer. It will help you to understand how to sell the product or service that you're offering, how to close that sales process down, how to handle an objection that you might get, or how to handle a negotiation within a sales process. You'll also understand what it takes to plan. So there'll be a certain amount of planning required when you sell, the type of businesses that you might sell to, the kind of research that you'll need to do in order to sell effectively. There's also mindset. So, you know, it can be quite hard work selling. It's not always, oh yes, every time you speak to a client, they'll convert to a customer. So it will be understanding what it takes from a mindset point of view to sell, and that you will probably be working to hitting and reaching sales targets. So we'll be talking about those kind of those kind of targets that you might have to reach if you're in a sales job. What Jeremy mentioned a little bit about what I'm looking for, as he rightly said, I really guess if you're going into sales, you have to want to be comfortable listening. It's definitely not all about talking, listening and engaging and interacting and being curious and understanding what a client wants, and then be comfortable with being able to communicate effectively your product or service to somebody else. So we really, if you're a shy, retiring person who hates the thought of talking, I would suggest that sales is not necessarily for you. But we don't need somebody that is just talk, because that is also not the sign of a good salesperson. Listening is vital. It's going to be very practical. We will want you on your video. We will want you engaging. We'll want you to be doing lots of role plays, and we will be getting, a bit like Deborah said, she said we'll be getting real life businesses. And again, like last time, we'll be getting real life businesses to do a kind of end role play in a real life situation, so that we will be assessing your progress throughout the course. If you've got any other questions for me, please come to the sales room and I'd be delighted to answer anything that you have to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jo. And now moving over to our web design trainer, Alex Shaw. Alex, if you want to unmute yourself, then over to you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Alex. I'm obviously going to be teaching the web design course. A little bit about myself before we start. I'm dyslexic. I also have ADHD. I've been drawing since I was 4 years old, and I designed my first website in 1994. I've been teaching web design, internet marketing and so forth since 1998. I've taught over 80 blue chip companies and over 4,000 people. Everything ranging from people like the BBC, Lloyd's of London and so forth, all the way to startups, small businesses and individuals. Why learn web design? Okay, for starters, following on from Jo, and obviously sales and web design is, I think, quite closely linked anyway, because I believe a website are businesses' shop window to the world, right? Just in the last year, some interesting stats, there were over 800,000 new businesses started just last year, just in the United Kingdom. And there's over 4 million companies in the United Kingdom. Every single one of them needs a website. Every single one of them probably has a website. So that means that there's always new businesses, there's always new opportunities for web design. As a web designer, I would say starting salaries can be from about 10 to 20,000, going all the way up to a developer can easily earn over 100,000 easily. And if you eventually in your career decide you want to start a web agency, meaning you have other people working for you, it can be anything from 10,000 to unlimited. And also if you get into e-commerce, meaning you're selling things online or you're helping people do that, again, the revenues can be unlimited. So web design really is a massive potential for anyone thinking about a great career for their future. Let's talk about the Wage course particularly. So why learn with Wage? Well, as we've obviously said, it's a social enterprise. And the thing I really do love is what everyone's also said, is it's not just that you're only learning, there will also be opportunities where you'll also be working as well. As part of that, we'll make sure that we put some live clients on the course so you have experience with that. The course is going to be run over 15 weeks, 1 day a week. You will learn mainly 2 types of websites. You're going to be learning how to build brochure sites, or what I call lead generation websites. And also, we're also going to cover basic e-commerce sites as well on the course. You will be learning web design based on thousands of tests. So there's studies on how to build sites that convert high or generate lots of leads. And obviously I've got over 27 years experience in web design generally, which you're also going to be working with. And also, I've also got some software which I can give to you, which I paid for. So I've got over £1,000 worth of software that all of you will get that you can effectively use. And talking about what you'll cover, so we're going to be talking about the web design mindset of how to think of a web designer, how the web works, dealing with clients, which I know is also going to be covered on some of the other courses as well, and how to sell online, which I've already covered, and also the whole design process. So what I'm going to be going through with you is what I do with every single client, which is talking about keyword research, competition research, site planning, creating wireframes, and then creating mock-ups for people to look at, and then producing the actual websites. Okay, so that'll be the general course. And the last section is who should attend the course. So what are we looking for? What am I looking for? Or we're looking for wage that ends up being reasonably good for web design. Well, the first thing is, I think, is that what I really want is people that enjoy serving, people that like to add value to people's lives, and people that like to add values to people's businesses. I think that is number one. The second thing is, are you good at the following skills? Are you good at selling or writing? Are you good at designing? Are you good at researching, or are you good at talking to people? Are you a problem solver, or do you like technology? Do you like fixing things as well? Or are you good at programming? So they're the kind of skills that can be used on a website. And it doesn't mean that every person that comes needs all those skills, right? A lot of people that work on websites, either just one person working on a website. A lot of times it will be 1, 2, or 3 people working on a site with different skills. So that's me. I think I've covered everything I was going to talk about. I'm Alex. Thank you ever so much, and I look forward to answering any of your questions. Also, we've got some examples that we can show in the breakout room as well of projects that people have done on the course. Thank you very much, and over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. And now, last, most definitely not least, Joanna Michaels, who will be training our social media marketing course. Joanna, over to you.
Thank you, Jeremy. So good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here tonight and to be coming on board as the social media trainer for the WAGE program. So my name is Joanna Michaels. I'm a digital marketeer and I specialize in social media marketing. So in a nutshell, I have spent the last 9 years working in social media marketing as a consultant, coach, trainer, and speaker. Part of my work is consultancy work and the other part of my work is coaching and training. So in terms of my consultancy work, I work with startups, small and medium businesses and charities on a variety of projects, and they range from designing strategy from scratch, so social media strategies that are then delivered and basically clients can take them off and run with them, to implementing specific social media campaigns. However, the training and coaching is the part that I enjoy most. And up to date, I've delivered training to a variety of clients, startup hubs, universities, businesses, and as of recent, more charities, which is something that I really enjoy. I have also been a social media trainer for almost 3 years for Facebook Shimi's business campaign, where I trained and mentored hundreds of female founders through Facebook, through the Facebook program. So why social media? I think it doesn't need explaining. First of all, most of us as users use social media to connect with friends, family, network, find products, book services. And then when it comes to businesses of all sizes, having social media presence is now an expectation. And I guess having a quality social media presence, because it's just not about any presence. So we actually often hear now that, for example, having a well-optimized, well-functioning Facebook page is part of a business's brand. So hence why businesses need social media support. People often say that social media is free, although in fact it costs a lot of time and a lot of effort if one would like to create quality presence for business. And most often than not, businesses don't have that time. or they don't want to spend that time on social media, and hence they need people with the right skills to do it for them. And hence the aim of the social media marketing training for wage, to equip those of you that would like to come onto the training to join us and gain all the essential skills needed to set up social media on behalf of your clients, get through to the right audiences on social media with relevant messaging, and to be accountable and strategic, and of course accountable in terms of results when acting on behalf of clients. So how will we learn together if you decide to join the training? My approach is highly practical, so I love discussions and looking at practical case studies and effectively peer-to-peer learning. So there are no silly questions in my social media training. I really like seeing people working within groups, working together, challenging each other's views. It's all very good experience for all of us, and also often there is a lot of knowledge in the room and people actually don't realize how much they know already. So I hope that I can offer a balanced approach with quality material, quality training material, but also a lot of practical implementation. I would intend to give you homework every week, so you would have tasks, and then you will be kept accountable as for how you're progressing. So in terms of specific modules, we would start with social media strategy, which is effectively a foundation to doing any work for a client. So personally, I wouldn't even start doing any social media work for anyone unless social media strategy was in place. So effectively planning the whole approach, looking at target audience, setting objectives, developing strong content plan, and then ensuring accountability through putting in place measuring tools. Then once we are done with this sort of basic foundation module, we will then move to specific channels, and we will spend a day on Facebook, and then another day on Instagram, and another one on LinkedIn, where we will learn about how to set up presence on each of those channels, how to optimize them, and which features and tools are most valuable for business, and most importantly, how they all differ, because copying and pasting the same message throughout those channels simply doesn't work. And so they can fulfill different business functions, and it's very important for us to understand those intricacies, and equally how all of this can in different ways support the business overall objectives. So from there, we will move to visual branding with Canva. So this is quite different to what was discussed earlier, because I guess Canva is effectively a tool for non-designers. So a very simple tool, a visual branding tool, which hopefully will add to your skill set when it comes to social media marketing, and effectively it will help you to create appealing branded material for your clients. So nowhere near as advanced as graphic design, so quite basic compared to professional graphic design skills, but still very useful when it comes to social media. And then we will have a day of training on Google My Business, which is of special importance, effectively, especially for local businesses. And we'll finalize the course with secrets of engagement. So a little bit of psychology in social media, which I think is very interesting. And then there will be a day of assessment. So this is the plan. And these are the basics of the social media marketing course. And I really look forward to meeting some of you in the breakout rooms and taking any questions you may have. Thank you.
Brilliant, Joanna. Thank you so much. Right, thank you to all the trainers for speaking. Right, everybody else. Now is your opportunity, but isn't it going to be difficult? Because they were brilliant, all of them. I know they're brilliant anyway. And as we said, it's not necessarily only one opportunity to jump into a breakout room. You can go in and out. So how it's going to work, I'm going to open the rooms. You will all see on your Zoom the name, sales, graphic design, web design, and a button you can press called join. So it's pretty clear what you do. You join the room that you want to join. I'm staying here. So if you want to leave a room and go somewhere else, again, once you're in the room, there's an option, a button, blue button, I think it is, called leave to go back to main room or something like that. you'll be able to work it out. I know you will, but there's also Work Avenue people around to help you if you've got any issues. So I will open the rooms. We're going to have 15 minutes so that we'll come back just at 7:30 and I'll do a 2-minute close. But enjoy this next 15 minutes and get as much out of it as you can. Rooms are going to be open now. Hopefully people can see an option to join. Trainers, please, down the bottom there, join your relevant room, and same with Work Avenue members who have been assigned a room. So people, feel free now as also to unmute yourself if anybody is
But can you
struggling
put
with
me in the
that.
room, because I can see the room.
I can't go into it either.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, fine. You can't press join, no?
No.
No, I can get
Okay.
moved. Yeah.
Alex, I'm quickly assigning you. There we go. Deborah, assigning you.
Thanks.
And me, please, Jeremy.
Where were you going, Emma? Do you remember?
IT admin to support Aria.
Can you put the rooms up again? Because I can't get into them.
David, they're all up.
No.
But where do you want to go? I can assign you.
Into web design, please.
Yeah. Just trying to see where you are, David. Sorry. I can't see you as unassigned. I'm seeing. I see. I'm seeing you in. I'm seeing that you're in. Okay. Move to. All right. Let me try that. Move to web design.
Jeremy.
Hello.
Yeah. I can't see any. Doesn't give me any rooms. Nothing here. Yeah? Just all I see is the same thing as I saw up to now. It's nothing that suggests.
Okay. What is your name?
Amir.
Amir. Where would you like to go to?
Well, I'm interested in sales, so I don't know. Maybe.
Let me put you there first of all. When I press the button, you'll go straight to that room. Coming now.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it. Now I can see it. Cool. Okay.
We should be able to. There we go. Okay, there's about 10 of us still in this room. Feel free if anyone wants to ask me questions, or if people want to be joining rooms and don't know how, feel free to ask me.
Jeremy, how do you actually, I clicked the breakout rooms, but how do you actually click join a room? I'm not
So
too
there
sure.
should be a button to join against the, can you see the different room at sales or the people that are in it?
Yeah, and it's got a drop down, but then there's no
join. Okay, so I can assign you. What's your name?
Shira, if you can move me to
Yes.
social media, that'd be great.
Social media. There
Thank
we go.
you.
Okay. Anybody else need my help or wants to ask me something? Ruth, have you got your hand up there, Ruth? If you unmute yourself.
Okay, I've unmuted. Yeah, so basically, I don't need to go into any of the rooms. I don't have it up, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I just want to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
That's fine. Well, it's fine. We'll be as quick as we, because there are others that also want to ask questions. So crack on and yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and ask.
Right, so first of all, I don't need to go into any rooms, but I'm actually experienced in the admin side.
Yes.
If I don't go on the course, does that mean I can't get a job through you?
No, so this, right, good question. Two things. One is that you can get a job through Work Avenue, of course, anyway. That's direct employment, of course. Through Wage, the thing to do is apply, because what then happens is I have a one-to-one conversation with you. And that's where we'll discuss what are your skill set levels, how experienced are you? And if you say you want to be part of the Wage Club, but you don't feel that the course is right for whatever reason, you and I will come to that decision together, depending on how the conversation goes. And it isn't impossible. There is an example of a web designer who had most of the skills, so didn't go on Alex's course, but did want to be part of the Wage program to get freelance project work, and that worked out okay. So it is not impossible, although clearly there can be benefits of going on the course. So it's a one. You and I will have that conversation. Yeah.
but I understand that I'm already a wage member,
Go on.
and I
Yeah.
understood when I did speak to you at some point, I can't remember if it was speaking or emailing, that once any jobs came up, you allocate jobs. I didn't know I had to physically go somewhere to look for jobs or apply or whatever, and I don't know where I go.
No, okay. So again, what we need to do to take this so that we're not hogging too much for everybody else. What you'd need to do is just go onto the website to again just apply and put admin, because all that will do.
Is the website the www.theworkavenue.org.uk?
Workavenue.org.uk. Then you click on wage. Hang on, I might be able to show you and everybody. Okay. Let me try.
I did a zero course with you, so I believe that.
Oh yeah. Okay, fine. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask. I will just make a note to go to our website, click on wage, click on training courses, and then there's the form. Fill it in, and then you and I will come back to you as a result, and you and I will have a conversation. We'll go through all of this together individually.
Right.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Ben,
do I need to stick around, or can I go?
No. Of course, this is free. If you don't want to speak to anyone, you don't need to speak to anyone else. Then
no. And will you let me know about this free one-day course when it is?
Yeah, absolutely. I will. I will speak to you separately. Thanks, Ruth.
Okay.
Ben,
Thank
yes.
you. Bye.
Thanks for your patience, Ben. Yes. What would you like to say?
I was originally thinking of doing the IT admin course.
Yeah.
From what I understood, I've been doing admin now for the last 3.5 years. I've probably got most of the experience ready. But then I was thinking of doing social media marketing. My question is, I think that if I do the social media marketing, it would be useful to have web design and graphic design as well.
Yeah. So, okay. That will be too intense for you to do all of those. I know that by experience. You may be able to do one after, because they're not running now and never again. So you may be able to do them in chunks, and this the same goes for everybody. Again, what we need to do, you just need to fill out through the website an application. You can put on that exactly what you're saying to me now. You're not sure which ones, you're thinking of 2 or 3, etc. And that will immediately come to me, and then you and I will have a one-to-one Zoom meeting where we can spend at least half an hour really assessing what is best for you, and how, and if there's an opportunity to do more than one, how do we manage that? So that's fine. And you may want to ask a couple of questions of the trainers now, if you get the opportunity to jump into those rooms to ask them. But anyway, again, the best method is to get the official application. You may have done it already, I don't know. And then I'm going to start the Zoom meetings with people as soon as I can. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine. Anybody else have any questions at all? No, you're welcome to, as I say, you can flit in and see what's going on in one of the breakout rooms, of course, by joining them. And remember, this session is recording. In fact, I will stop now the recording, just so we know.